Welcome to another episode of Life and Whiskey. As always, I'm Jordan, and today we're getting back into one of my favorite categories. We're going to explore a rye. So this is Rittenhouse Rye, and here in Wyoming, I can pick up a bottle of Rittenhouse for $18.19. So we're not breaking the bank. Again, kind of on the cheaper side of rye whiskeys. It is coming in at 100 proof or 50% ABV. So a little bit higher proof. A lot of ryes are somewhere in that 90 proof. And it's distilled and bottled by Heaven Hill Distillery Incorporated, Louisville, Kentucky. Or in Bardstown, Kentucky. So they got a couple of different distilleries. Yeah, Rittenhouse Rye. So as any of you've watched this channel at all, you'll know I'm kind of a fan of rye whiskey. I like the many places you can go. Now, right now, MGP seems to be dominating the whiskey market, whether it's bourbon or rye, but rye especially, because even the big name brands, because of the big rye boom that we've seen, the hipsters, in the last 5 years, most of the big name brands had not been making rye whiskey, and so they typically do that 4-year barreling aged, and so because of that, they didn't have anything on stock. So a lot of the big names went to MGP. So the large flavor profile that you see out there right now is MGP rye. It might be aged in different areas, and they might have done something different to it, or a slightly different recipe, or a different proof. But for the most part, well over 50% of all the rye on the shelf is MGP. So it's kind of nice to see something that is not, and hopefully we get a little bit different profile out of it because of that, which you most certainly do. Kind of interesting. I get a little bit of almost corn dust out of it, some kind of grain dust. I get a very herbal, floral note to it. Now, herbal is something that you definitely pick out or get from a lot of rye. So you normally get herbal, floral, black licorice, just kind of a spicy, peppery note as well. That's more in the flavor than in the nose. I get a little vanilla and caramel in there. Just a touch of oak with ethanol, and that's not surprising. 100 proof. So this is one that at 100 proof, you would expect the ethanol to be a little bit more forward, and it's really not. It's kind of hidden in there a little bit, not dominating the nose, which is kind of nice. Now, I just got done doing an Elijah Craig barrel proof at 127 proof, a lot more alcohol in there, but I explained that just because it's a high proof doesn't always mean that the ethanol dominates. In this particular rye, the ethanol is definitely not dominating the flavor profile. You actually get a lot of different flavors, and only at the tail end do you get the ethanol burn in the back of your throat and a little bit of the dryness on your tongue. A lot of sweet notes are in there, which is very different than the nose. So to start with, I get that herbal component, a little bit of baking spice, like a clove maybe, then a vanilla caramel in there, and then it picks up this oak characteristic that it kind of finishes with an oak and a vanilla sweetness, underlaying with the dryness of the ethanol, maybe a black pepper spice to it. One characteristic that you might get out of a rye that's pretty common, especially in MGP products, is like a eucalyptus. So, like if you watch the Whiskey Vault guys, they talk about this a lot. Like if you go into Pure One or any one of those, I don't know what you want to call it, not a flower shop, but like the place where you can get like fake flowers and like the craft section of a Benjamin, go to a Benjamin Franklin or the craft section of Walmart or any craft store, and you go to the area where the fake flowers are, and you can get the eucalyptus. And if you smell that eucalyptus, it has a very distinct smell to it. Oftentimes, you can get that out of the glass, along with this herbal quality. And I definitely, if you try really hard, you can get the eucalyptus in the nose, but you get it on the flavor. So, and what I mean by that is it tastes like the smell in the back of your mouth, along with that herbal quality. So, just a really nice flavor profile. The ethanol is not dominating or burning or anything like that. A good sipper, I would say. So, Rittenhouse Rye, not over the top expensive. $18.19 here in Wyoming. I mean, that's pretty awesome for that. Highly recommended. It's not an MGP product, so something a little bit different. Life and whiskey, as always. So, thank you for watching. I greatly appreciate it, and I will catch you guys in the next video.